Okay, guys, there comes a time when we have season finales and they're kind of subpar and they kind of get their point across and some things are kind of resolved and you're kind of left feeling really, really underwhelmed. Well, this episode was not one of them. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach the Nerd, and I did my first ever live stream about this earlier. I'm doing my kind of commentary video now on Motherland, Fort Salem, episode 10, the season finale, because it was intense and it was epic. We had so much resolution in this that it is insane. You can see my reaction in the live stream. Unfortunately, it did cut out a little bit near the end. I apologize, but I tried to answer as many questions as I could from you wonderful viewers. And trust me, you had a lot because this episode was on point. So let's just kind of just go over like a checklist of what happened. So number one, the girls didn't get into war college because of what happened with Alder. But Petra pulled strings to get Abigail into war college. But our girl chose her sisters. She went with her girls to the battlefield as war meat because Abigail has evolved so much in this season. It is ridiculous. She went from being one of the most selfish people in the beginning to one of the most selfless at the end. Love her. I loved the fact that she stayed behind for Raelle. She saw her girl was down. She went and linked with her, knowing that she was probably going to die. And now that we know that Raelle is bonded to the mushroom wall and that they basically share DNA, if you don't know that, check out the After the Storm video where it's explained. But now that we know this and that it boosts their powers, these two are on point. But they are basically stranded in China. So either the Chinese soldiers are going to find them or which soldiers are going to find them, which is going to be problematic because technically they weren't supposed to be there. They're breaking all kinds of laws and treaties. Or the Chimera is going to get them, which I don't think either. I don't think that's going to happen because right now, the way they're walking and mushrooms are growing by and there's like this creepy light, they are very formidable. So I would not approach them. But I'm really hoping the outcome of that situation with these two girls are that they're going to find the same base that Adil found when he took Khalida to them to get help to heal her when she was sick, and that they get them to Fort Salem. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, Petra could try and pull some strings to get her baby girl back, but I fear she would leave Raelle behind, and because Petra is not really the best person. So yeah. There's that. And also, I'm still shipping Abigail and Raelle. Come at me. I mean, I love their chemistry. I know they're sisters, but I mean, they actually have evolved so much. It seemed like Raelle and Scylla just kind of got together through attraction. And yeah, they have a lot of chemistry together. But Raelle and Abigail have had to work for their relationship. And I think that's actually a stronger commitment and a stronger relationship. So it's how I feel. And I love the fact that Abigail said, or I think her last line was, "I love you, shitbird." Just saying. And I know you're going to come at me with the sisterly love. I know I'm queer and I'm putting it out there, but I'm shipping them so hard right now. All right. So Tally is a biddy. My Lord, that better be undone. She has main character insurance. I refuse to believe that my girl is going to be old forever and she's not going to die in 5 years. That is not Tally's fate. It's not. I have decreed it, therefore it is so. So season 2 will start her journey to undoing the madness that she has caused by taking on a biddy, role to save Alder, who I still think is shady. I do. But I can't have Tally be a biddy. But again, she is on the poster, and my rule of thumb is if you made it onto the poster and that is the main advertising poster that you see everywhere, that you have main character insurance. So you may go through very horrible stuff, but you're going to live in the end. So it'll be undone. We'll learn that it can be undone. Anacostia and Scylla have bonded. Anacostia has shared a painful story about her parents dying in a car crash and not saving themselves because they refused to use the work to save themselves from a car crash because they were not on base. So it wasn't during a military assignment. So they were so hardcore with the rules that they wouldn't even save their own lives. Now, that could be true because she is an orphan. But I honestly think that the reason Anacostia told Scylla that story was because she was doing that thing that people do whenever they want information from you. They basically find common ground. They relate to you. And the reason I'm saying that is she allowed Scylla to escape. She aided her escape. But when Scylla went to the seed hideout, Anacostia was right there jogging. She was the jogger. Because I think what Anacostia is going to do is make Scylla believe that they have formed a bond and a companionship and camaraderie, and she's going to infiltrate the seed location of the base, and the only way in is out, and the way, and up is under. So there you go. She's going to dismantle the organization from the inside. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think Anacostia is turning seed by any scope because she loves the Bellwether unit and girls too much. So I'm not worried there. It was still sad hearing Scylla's parents' story about how they were killed while she came home from school, and they thought they were safe, and they killed them even though they surrendered themselves to make, basically make a point and set an example to other, draft runners. So yeah, I get that, but I still don't excuse Scylla for killing 1,600 people in Porter. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. So I love the fact that Raelle's mother is still alive and that she's in the spree. So many of you, my viewers, so many comments from viewers said that they thought that she was spree. I mentioned it that I thought that was a theory in the pilot, but I was still stressing Alder. So I can't take full credit for that. So I have to give you guys credit where it's due. You guys are awesome. You were right. Raelle's mother is in spree. I don't know if she's the head of the spree because, guys, I am not giving up Alder. I'm not. She's shady. I don't care what she said. I don't care about her commitment and her story and her fear and learning to fight back and how she sold that story to Tally. So Tally would give up her youth, basically, not knowing she was going to do that. But I mean, it was just like that sob story really got Tally back on Team Alder. It didn't get me. So she's shady. And she's power hungry, because think of this. Would Alder have broken the rules and gone over to save the Tarim if they did not have those special songs that she wanted? And if you can tell me that, yes, she would, I will leave Alder alone. But if you can see it from my point of view, that is still wanting power, regardless of what you want it for, that's shady. Just saying. I'm happy we saw Bridie in this episode. She was alive. She was, she basically was on the mission. She was badass. I mean, as I said in my live stream, any woman who refuses to heal her eye that was gouged out because she basically was showing respect and feeling mournful over losing her sister is not somebody you really want to mess with on the battlefield. I'm just saying. And speaking of battlefields, man, Abigail using that knife that probably is the Chimera. I don't know. I still think that that's the knife she was stabbed with in Bellwether season. I don't know. But slitting that guy's throat like that was like so easy. Raelle was using seeds to blast people away, but Alder split somebody straight down the middle. That was creepy and awesome. So yeah, the way this episode flowed for me actually flowed like someone going to war. I mean, it started off from when you're getting your orders to getting on that helicopter to going straight into the battlefield. And it was bam, bam, bam. But I liked it because it did simulate that they were getting ready to have a major fight. So, and all of the stuff that was revealed around it was just like icing on the cake. So I had no problem with the flow of this. It was filmed from the perspective of soldiers going to war. And that's what it was. So I'm really excited about that. Now let's talk about... So Adil goes back to his people on the mission to try and rescue them. And he finds that there's a boulder and he's able to open the boulder. And while they're in there, Raelle does heal the little girl. And so the little boy, there's a little boy that had the same disease that Kalita had, the little black viney stuff. It's horrible. She's able to heal it and it goes away. And then Tally gets a vision because she's basically for some reason that she's the only knower they brought. I don't know why. I would bring like a whole crap load of them. But she says that there's people that are waiting for them outside. Why didn't the Tarim just make another exit? They're able to split rock. They can move mountains. If they don't believe in fighting, that's fine. But they could escape. I don't understand that. And I also want to know why. and this could just be me, why was Alder's sister strung up on a tree? Well, no, I'm sorry, an elder of the Tarim strung up like Alder's sister with the same clothing that her sister had when they killed her. Who knew that? Somebody would have to know that intimately for that. That's not just a witch hunter. Now, I get I always say their name incorrectly, the Chimera or Camarera, whatever. I'm going to call them the Chimera. I get that they are witch hunters. They're the reason that all of the witches were attacked and murdered for their vocal cords, because they basically concocted these collars. They let them simulate the work and let them use the witches' seeds, which is still weird to me, because I know you're using those vocal cords, but are you saying all the magic is in those vocal cords? There's no other magic. And so the collars, no matter who wears it, even if you're a human with no magic whatsoever, you can still make sounds and it will resonate and the magic will happen, because they were using like low-level weather attacks with that. And that's so interesting that anybody can just use magic like that in this world. So I would like to know a little bit more about the source of their power and the history of the magic, but that's a season 2 thing. But yeah, the Chimera, like, why didn't the Tarim just make another exit? Adil did say they were powerful enough to pretty much terraform. They could create land. They could restore land. They could move mountains. You can't make an exit out the back? Like, I'm just saying. That's just something I noticed. But yeah, the Chimera was pretty much, they were pretty messed up. And we've learned from, if you watched After the Storm, that they were a group that was funded by Henry VIII and Philip II to basically take out the stain on humanity, which were witches. And the Alder seemed pretty shocked when she realized that they were actually there. She even made the comment that the spree were right. So that's interesting. Let's see. So Scylla did not know that Abigail's mother was spree. The look on her face was very telling. I actually felt really bad for her, but it got me wondering why Raelle never showed her a picture of her mother the entire time they were dating. Like, she'd be like, this is my mom in this locket, or, this is what my mom looked like, or this, you know what I mean? Like, there's no picture of her. And since Raelle is bonded with the mushroom, that we've learned that, her and the mushroom have an eternal connection, which is why when she's walking down the road or down the path with Abigail, there's like mushrooms flowing behind her, which makes me never want to eat a portobello again. Like, it's so weird, the connection, because, like, think about this. I don't know how that mushroom wall got there. I just assumed her mother was in the mushroom wall, but she was cooking mushrooms at the end. So does that mean that that's how she was watching her? Maybe the mother is physically there and is in the mushroom wall. I don't know, but she was cooking mushrooms. There's some kind of connection there. And now that Raelle is connected to the mushroom and the mushroom is connected to her, they both have a bond, like, eternally. And we know that the mushroom provides a power up for Abigail's powers as well through Raelle. That's an interesting story. I really want to see where they're going with that. But yeah, there's this episode was just flipping insane, guys. It was flipping insane. So season 2, like, we just need to know what's going to happen. Will Alder get away with puppeting the president? I mean, how can she? The president has to be a complete idiot to let her get away with that. I mean, she knows that that was not her speaking. So if The Hague outlawed puppeting and the president knows about this outlawed skill that they have, then 9 times out of 10, Alder should be in trouble for this. I don't know. I'm curious to see how they resolve that. I know that a bitty little thing that Tally's got going is going to be undone, because there's no way in heck I'm going to allow Tally to be a bitty. Like, it's not happening. I mean, I will come for them. It's not happening. So it will be undone. It was very sad. Like, to me, she was very, like, not really, I want to say self-sacrificing, but she was so willing to take on this honor that she mentioned in episode 3 or 4, Beltane, when they were in the museum, and she said it's such an honor to be chosen to be a biddy. I mean, it's almost like she was foreshadowing herself, and, like, I don't like that. So now, like, every time somebody says something, I'm like, you're foreshadowing yourself, But I don't think this is permanent. But I do think that they did this for a reason. I think the reason that Tally is going to be a biddy for the length of time that she is that we need an insight to Alder. Alder will never tell us what's on her mind, but there's no way she can hide it from Tally because Tally will share her memories and her thoughts. So that will be interesting. And I'm hoping she retains that when it's undone, because it will be undone because she has main character insurance. I'm very happy that Glory did not die and that Glory got into War College. I think that is awesome. I'm hoping we have a lot more from her next season. We had no Garrett this episode. In my live stream, it was pointed out to me that the reason we never see the male witches and the witch father fight is because the odds, I guess, of having a male child or heir are very slim. So that's why they're not put on the front lines, which, okay, that's fine. It just means that women are more cannon fodder, and that kind of sucks. But yeah, there was no Garrett. I don't know if his wife Hillary was in the troop or not, because they did set some witches on fire, and that was pretty messed up. Yeah, there was so much in this episode. I was very happy how this episode played out, but it just left me with a lot of questions. Like, if Willa has been alive all of this time, and Scylla didn't even realize that was Raelle's mom, and she was calling the shots and saying that you need to do this and you need to do that, was Raelle's father in on it too? Because if not, then Willa is extremely cruel, because that man was mourning her for years, and she's been alive this entire time. There's no way that Raelle is going to understand her putting her father through that. So that's why I'm wondering, it will be really weird if we find out next season that he not only knew the mother was alive, but he was also in the spree, because they seem to be, they seem to have civilians, even if they're unwillingly and unknowingly working for them, they are there. So more than likely, the father could be in on it too. And because he didn't want their daughter to go to the military, that he just went along with it. And, I don't know. I don't know, guys. There's so much going on in this season. I didn't think I knew I was going to like this episode. I just didn't think I was going to like it so much, to the fact that I'm already ready for season 2, and we got a season 2. I don't know when we're going to film season 2, because they literally can't do anything while COVID's happening. So, especially since I think they do filming in Vancouver. I don't know. I was looking at that, but I want to say they do film it in Canada, but I could be incorrect on that. But I mean, yeah, they're not going to be able to film right now. Like, none of the shows that we love. I mean, everything's postponed till probably mid to late 2021. So it is affecting all of our shows, but at least we know it's coming. I just don't want them to do a time skip. I don't want them to have Raelle and Abigail stuck in China, walking hand in hand, and just 6 months, we come back and it's 6 months later, and then we see traumatizing flashbacks of what they went through, but it's not really shown how they got out, or, I don't want them to have that. I don't want to have a time skip. I want them to actually pick up from where they are and resolve that crap. And I really hope we get more episodes this season. I hope we get 26 episodes, not just 10. I think that would be really cool. If they can do that with shows like the Bold type, they can do that with this one. And plus they owe us, because I wasn't rampant. I'm not one of those rabbit people that goes crazy, but after losing Netflix's Sense8 and then have Freeform cancel canceling Shadowhunters, which I really loved. I feel like they should really make up for it with this series. Just saying. But yeah, that is pretty much mostly what I wanted to talk about. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of interaction with Raelle and Scylla. Scylla escaped, as I said earlier, and because of Anacostia aided her, which I think was completely planned on Anacostia's part. Raelle did say, when they take Scylla, make sure you go easy on her because she's not all bad. But I really feel like, I'm probably going to be reunited because, eventually Raelle's going to realize her mother's alive. But I'm sorry, guys. You might have to come at me for this. I really want something to happen between Abigail and Raelle. Because when Raelle got hurt, Abigail was the one that ran to her. And I know they have a sisterhood, but it's just the chemistry between them two was off the charts too. And remember, Adil was still on the chopper. He didn't even get out to help his girlfriend. His whatever, I guess they're a girlfriend and boyfriend. They really haven't, defined their relationship, but he liked Abigail. He did not get off that helicopter to help his woman, but his woman ran to Raelle and basically was willing to die for Raelle, was not going to break the link because she knew that the link was what was holding them to be able to heal. And I like them together. I do. I think they are amazingly cool. They're cute. And as I pointed out in my live stream, Scylla and Raelle got together almost instantaneously because that was the point. Scylla was supposed to draw her in. And yes, they are cute and they have chemistry, but that's what it was. But Abigail and her went from being enemies to frenemies to friends to sisterhoods to what they are now. But their bond that they're going to have after this is going to be insanely close. And I really, really, really want something to happen with them. And I love the fact that the actresses are so close in real life. So I think that helps. So I don't know. I am now team, even if I'm by myself, I am team Abigail and Raelle. And again, come at me. But that is what I wanted to talk about and mention with this episode. These are my thoughts. I would love to know what you guys think. Please leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for Jury Duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the nerd ballot, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. But hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.